Hi, my name is Marisol Macias, and this is my digital story of how I use different languages in my everyday life. From 1991 to 2009, I only knew of two languages, English and Spanish, mainly because I grew up in San Antonio, which is a bicultural city. My parents influenced me to learn both English and Spanish, but I mainly ended up speaking Tex-Mex. Sorry, Mom and Dad. But when it came time to graduate, I decided I would go to Hawaii Pacific University. From 2009 to 2013, I studied journalism at Hawaii Pacific University. And while living in Hawaii, I came to know many different languages and cultures, such as Hawaiian, Japanese, and Korean. I knew I wasn't in San Antonio when there were so many different languages in just one city. If you really want to experience diversity, just go visit Honolulu, Hawaii. And since I was being exposed to so many different languages and cultures on a daily basis, I decided to focus on just one. But how do you just focus on one? Well, with the help of my friends, I was introduced to K-pop and K-dramas. For those of you who don't know what K-pop and K-dramas are, it is Korean pop culture to say the least. But I fell deeply in love with it, and so much that I decided to study abroad to Seoul, Korea. Which brings us to summer 2012. In that summer, I did a summer semester at Sungkyunkwan University. It was the most amazing cultural language experience I had ever had. To me, when I saw people speaking Korean in Korea, it was like watching living art. I was so enthusiastic about the Korean language and culture that I decided that after I graduate from HPU that I would pursue an academic career in teaching English as a second language. Speaking of teaching English as a second language, I am currently working on getting my master's in the TESOL program at UTSA. Do you remember earlier in my video when I said from 1991 to 2009 I only knew of English and Spanish? Well, that's not the case anymore. Now I know Hawaiian, Japanese, and a whole lot of Korean. So now with my daily life, it consists of all these languages and more. So mahalo to the Hawaiian Islands for teaching me of the different diversities of languages in your Hawaiian Islands. And kamsahamnida for listening, and adios. This has been a digital story of my use of different languages in my everyday life.